because he wrote the book on it. The greatest hoax
What's going on, man?
of the global
What are you
warming
watching?
conspiracy threatens
Colbert Report.
Yeah.
James Inhofe might be elected to the Environmental Public Works.
The head of that. People who thought Harry Potter had too much
Pretty deal with all this climate change conspiracy stuff. So,
Can you think it's a conspiracy?
well, I read somewhere like 2 weeks ago that the temperature hasn't even risen since '98.
I don't know about that if you have your facts straight there, but it's definitely a problem. The global temperature has been consistently increasing. Are you familiar with the greenhouse effect? Yeah, so basically the more fossil fuels we burn, oil, natural gas, coal, more CO2 and other gas, they heat up the environment and the atmosphere. It's like a blanket and traps in all the heat. But you really have to take into account for the long-term trend of the increasing global temperatures, as well as how much heat the ocean actually absorbs. So you got to think about it.
Why should I care? It's freezing around here. Maybe if it warms up a little bit, it might be a bit more like Australia around here.
Okay, all right. Of course you don't care. You got money coming out of your ears over here. What do you do when the sea level rises?
Move away from the ocean.
Okay, all right. And then when the air gets so polluted you can't even breathe and you start getting respiratory diseases.
Move out of the city.
You're so smart. What about when your water becomes so undrinkable? It's like, what are you gonna do there? It's so contaminated.
Mate, bottled water. It's easy.
All right. Well, that's great. Yeah, it might work for you, but there's a lot of people that can't just pick up their things and leave and move, and that kind of ignorance, not knowing, that it's going to put a lot of people out of their homes. In Bangladesh alone, if the sea level continues to rise at the current rate, 18 million people could be displaced by that.
Well, 18 million is a lot of people, but we're smart. We can work our way around it. Like, why don't we just adapt new technologies? We'll get sweet.
Maybe, but the reality is the number of species on the planet is declining. Over the past few hundred years, humans have increased the species extinction rate by nearly 1,000 times. It's like, as ecosystems continue to be degraded, and that increases like the chances of nonlinear changes,
What's nonlinear change?
Well, in the climate, basically more droughts, more floods, more storms, and we'll be less resilient. And basically, poverty will just get worse in a lot of countries because people won't have as much access to clean water and food. And this is definitely a problem because we're going to be approaching projected 9 billion people in 2050. So,
fair enough, but I'm one person. What am I meant to do about it? I can't make any difference.
yes, you can. You gotta believe. The biggest thing you could do is really just educate your family, friends, and the people in your circles so we can rid this ignorance of that humans aren't changing the climate, but just spread the knowledge.
Alright, fair point. Where'd you learn all this? You're pretty smart. You know your stuff.
Well, I did take environmental sustainability taught by the great Will Sullivan, and if that doesn't make me an expert, I don't know what will.